Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, your friendly neighborhood human, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and we're here with our Cancer Full Moon presentation. Still enough time for you to get prepared for this, even though we're slightly behind schedule. So, of course, we're looking here at the Cancer full moon. This is obviously the 26th of December, and this is rounding out what we started at the Cancer new moon, which was the 17th of July. And if you guys remember at that time, that is when the Schumann resonance started to measure us. So we're going to see the expansion of that. And the geophysicist Stefan Burns did a whole 2-hour presentation on the expansion of the Schumann resonance, trying to figure out what's going on. So pretty certain that that matches that energy. So for next year, we're looking at the Cancer new moon on July the 5th. That would be the day after our 4th of July celebration. And it's interesting because there's a portal that opens with the 4th of July. Is it the Sirius portal or something like that? So I would say by that time we'll see a fulfilling of this energy that's going to be coming in, really having illuminating a lot right now. You can also see on this that the Cancer, is that right? There's no Cancer full moon in 2024. So this is our last Cancer full moon until 2025, which I don't have on here. When we do the January new moon, I'll put 2025 on here. But yeah, we have 2 Capricorn full moons. So this is a pretty important moon. Okay, so as always, the new moon is about receiving, which is I am receives the experiences in the whole house theme. And the full moon is about releasing. So I am releases the blockages to the whole house theme. So, all right. Of course, here's our house themes. I'm not going to go over all of them, but let's look at Cancer, which of course is ruled by the moon. It's the Chariot card. The angel is Mergel. The theme is home, family, lineage, intuition, holding on, emotional energies, mother. The element is water. The color is silver or white, and the hour is Gabriel. So let's look at Mergel. Here we go. The 4th genius of the Jupiter sphere has to control and keep in equilibrium the total magnetic fluid in the cosmic hierarchy. He or she is responsible for the fluid state on all planets and also for the element of water in the whole cosmic hierarchy, including our world in its physical, astral, and mental state. The spiritualite can be fully instructed by this original genius in the original element of water, its workings and effects regarding the whole cosmic lawfulness and in respect of magic and Kabbalah. Furthermore, in the way by which, under the influence of the magnetic fluid, certain occult faculties can be wakened and developed in the mental body. For instance, transcendental seeing in all spheres and on all planets. This original genius can teach the magician many other things. The sphere magician, who has perfect command over the magnetic fluid, can work miracles by its help, miracles which the non-initiate will never be able to imagine. So, if you remember, we talked about the magnetic fluid a long time ago, but the magnetic fluid is kind of like the water that's in your body, because remember, our bodies are made up of 70% water. So the magnetic fluid is the ability, like the strength card, to pull that energy in so that we can tame the beast within us. Is also, if you think about being able to move the fluid up and down the spine, is also related to that. So magnetic fluid is very powerful, and it doesn't require words. So if you look at the juxtaposition of the strength card, which is the magician slice, which is Aquarius, you have the sun and the moon. But the sun and the moon, you have to speak to them to command them to do something. But with that is more like the, I'm not even going to say that it's like the other fluid. I mean, not the fluid, the fire element. It's just, it requires you to speak. But straight up magnetic fluid is mental. So you can mentally command something to happen. Okay? All right. So it's pretty simple for this full moon. This is a full moon. So on full moons, you write, burn, or release. So you would write, burn, or release the statement related to your house your Cancer falls in, and also burn that with some ancestor money always. And on a white candle, you would ask the angels to assist in what they specialize in. It basically works the same time. So remember, you got to look up what house your Cancer is in. Um, uh, Yeah, just look up what house your Cancer is in. It's like if you did the thing for the Taurus full moon, then it would be the next house over because it goes in order. So you don't have to like keep looking. Just remember what house you did for the last full moon, and this is like layers of information, not like they're separate. They go together. You should be able to tell a pretty interesting story by the end of the year. And of course, remember the hour for this moon is Gabriel. So if you're going to do this on Tuesday, the Gabriel hour is 3 a.m., 10 a.m., 5 p.m., and midnight. Or you could do it the Gabriel hour, which is associated with Cancer, or you can do it the hour that is associated with what house your Cancer falls in, whichever one is the easiest for you to remember. But you have this chart here so you can figure it out. So what I'm noticing is that most of the time full moons, they don't have a lot going on. So whatever the energy is, it's like extreme because it's so limited in what it is. So here we have the moon at 4 degrees of Cancer. And for the Gemini full moon, it was also at 4 degrees. So this is kind of like, matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. What degree is 4 degrees? I was just talking to somebody about the degree theory. And I was like, oh, I don't use it that much, but I'm about to refer to it because it happened last month at 4 degrees, which makes me think we want to pay attention to that. Here we go. 4 degrees is the Cancer degree. So we had the full moon in the Cancer degree last month, and also this month is in the Cancer degree. So that's interesting. And then this is our last Cancer full moon until 2025. So you have Hilali, and it says this head is an excellent initiator into sympathy, mammal spiritualism. So this is basically like the process of preserving your body. So you have mummies like, this is so crazy because I've seen so much mummy stuff in the last 24 hours, but you have mummies where your body is preserved and it's in one place, but then you also have people who are kind of like walking mummies. They preserve their body in a certain way. So this is the energy that's coming in. He can give information on how, with the help of the elements, the spiritualite practicing mammal spiritualism can bring about various effects. And he can, apart from that, explain to the spiritualite the influence of the electric and magnetic, that's what I remember, the electric and magnetic fluids in nature. So this guy also deals with magnetic fluids, but he deals with the electric fluid too. And remember, the electric fluid is the breath. It's literally the exhale. That's the electric fluid, breathing on something. So you know how it said that Jesus spat into the mud and put the mud on the person's eye. That's electrical fluid. Whereas magnetic fluid is like when Jesus, the what was it? A come on, brain, some kind of a leader, a soldier, somebody, a guard, I don't remember his name. He sent his servants to Jesus to ask him to heal his daughter, and he told the man that his faith had made him whole. So it's like a distance healing. That's like magnetic fluid. Okay. Hilali introduces the spiritualite into special working methods which have not been known to anyone up to now and which have to do with mummial spiritualism. The special mummial spiritualism instructions given by him or by his servants can help the spiritualite bring about effects he would have never thought of. So this definitely has to do with distance healing, self-preservation, especially in relation to the saint who is over this full moon, which should give you some more information. So the saint is Saint Euthymus, Bishop of Sardis. So the Hero martyr, and Hero martyr means just like an early martyr. Euthymus, Bishop of... No, it doesn't. Hold on. I don't know why I said that. I thought it's not proto-martyr. It's Hero martyr. Let's see what that word means. Oh, it's a martyr who was a bishop or a priest. So some of the martyrs were not bishops or priests, and some of them were. So this one is one who was a bishop or priest. Okay, because he was a bishop, obviously. During the period of the reign of Byzantine Emperor Constantine P from 780 to 787, and the Empress Irene from 797 to 802, was chosen Bishop Sardis because of his virtuous life. He was also present at the Seventh Ecumenical Council in 787, at which he denounced the iconoclast heresy. So let me tell y'all what that iconoclast, because that's really important. Those are the people... iconoclasm is the social belief in the importance of the destruction of icons and other images or monuments, most frequently for religious or political reasons. People who engage or support iconoclasm are called iconoclasts, a term that has come to be figuratively applied to any individual who challenges cherished beliefs or venerated institutions on grounds that they are erroneous or pernicious. So these are people who reject history or reject any cherished belief because of their new application of something. So this iconoclast thing is a huge problem because this is why you have so much confusion among the icons, because they did a couple different things like with the icons during this whole iconoclast thing. In some cases they flat out painted over them, but in other cases people would have the icons but they would paint them to look like other people, but they would still be their icons. So for example, this is how you get that fake Jesus, Cesare Borgia, because they got rid of their regular icons and painted over it with this other icon to hide what was actually underneath it. They did this a lot. And this is why the icons are all confused, because the people who didn't want to burn them, they just painted over them, knowing that they could be scraped off or whatever later. It's really weird. Okay, so let's keep going. When the iconoclast emperor Nicephorus came to rule, Saint Euthymus and other Orthodox hierarchs were banished to the island of Palateria, where they languished for a long time. Recalled from exile by Emperor Leo V, the bishop boldly denounced the iconoclast heresy, and they sent him into exile into the city of Asia. The next emperor, Michael II, the Stammerer, good lord, 820 to 829, attempted to make him renounce icon veneration, but without success. Then the holy martyr was flogged and banished to the island of Crete. Michael was succeeded on the throne by iconoclast Emperor Theophilus, on whose order Saint Euthymus was subjected to cruel tortures. They stretched him on 4 poles and beat him with ox thongs. Saint Euthymus fell asleep in the Lord several days after the torture. So you have a guy First of all, you have a moon, which is about emotions, basically the magnetic fluid. Then you have the moon, which has to do with preserving your magnetic fluid. Then you have a martyr who died for the ability for us to venerate the icons. So you can kind of see how important the icons are to this familial spiritualism. This is something that only we could put together over here because we take these things literally. So it is kind of my belief that if you have an icon painted of yourself, that is probably a way to preserve your energy, because the energy of that person is transferred into the icons. That's why you have the icons that cry, you have the icons that put out the different scents. It's a lot of stuff with the icons. So don't sleep on the iconography. And of course, if you haven't seen any in person, I highly suggest going to your local Orthodox church and just taking a look. Just being in the presence of all of these icons are very helpful and useful. Okay, so let's take a look at this chart. It's not really a lot going on in Cancer. As you can see, it's in the 12th house. So 12th house is Jupiter. Jupiter is still in retrograde at this moment in Taurus, which is in the home. So definitely you want to, if you have gotten a reading from me and I told you who your saint was, you might want to pick up a picture of that saint and put it in your house. That's probably something to think about at this time. 12th house is kind of also the first house too. It's on the ascendant. So there's a lot of like kind of weird stuff going on with this. Is it a trine? It's a trine with Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a square with the nodes. No, it's not a square with the nodes. Well, there's not a lot of stuff going on with this moon, which is even more, except for the trine. Yeah, it's in a trine with Saturn, which is at 2 degrees. Finally made it to 2 degrees. And so the only thing you have in the chart that is that low is you got, like I said, Jupiter is at 5 degrees. You got Saturn at 2 degrees. You got the sun at 4 degrees. Everything else is pretty far down. So this is like a little bit of an unusual, because Cancer or full moon, because it has a lot to do with this sort of spiritual, emotional self-preservation. So it's not really like other moons. So that's just to keep in mind, because if you listen to any of the astrologers, and I listen to a few, the way they're talking about this moon, I don't think they really understand what's going on. So, that is, just another interesting sort of tidbit. Yeah, I don't really see anything else like super important to notice. One of the astrologers I listened to did, basically say, just kind of like side-eyeing the energy, like, yeah, this seems good, but, what's the catch kind of thing? Because Neptune is in retrograde still. Where's Neptune? No, Neptune's not in retrograde. Neptune's out of retrograde, but Mercury's is still in retrograde. But listen, is a square? Yeah, you got a square between Neptune and Mercury. So it's like you're getting the information, but who's lying? The Neptunian person, which is the water, or the Mercurial person, which is kind of like quote unquote facts. So it's a lot of like, kind of what's going on with the information going on. So don't necessarily believe everything that you hear. Focus in on what you know is facts, and or what you think is facts, and don't be too quick to jump on information that's useful. You know what I mean? Don't be too quick. There's a charger right there too, on top of the speaker. It's already right here on top of the speaker. The speaker right there, where your shoes are, or the shoes are. It's a charger right there. You see it? Yeah. Sorry. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. This whole Mercury, well, what else is at that degree? Venus is kind of in there too, because Venus is at 26 degrees. I mean, it's a lot of stuff in that 22, 23, 24 degree like chunk, or 25, 26, 27. It's a lot of stuff in that chunk. And it's almost like, don't pay attention to that chunk, because we're not looking at the physical stuff right now. We're looking at, literally how to preserve our legacy. And that's basically what I said when I was telling everybody that, these people were going to try and come in and do these negotiations with us, but they weren't going to be valid because of the fact that they're not able to negotiate with us because we're not on the same page. So it's just one of those things to keep an eye on. It's not like, bad or good, but just keep your eye on it. It's a little bit of kind of different stuff going on. You know what I mean? So, of course, if you want this email to you, I'm sending out the email to the regulars. It'll have a link with all the little papers and stuff in it. But again, when you do the 2 slips, I write the same thing on both of them, especially with a write, burn, or release. And I put the date on the back, and I save one, and then I burn one so that I have a exact copy. Because like I just said, by the end of the year, you should be able to put these together like in order through the different moon phases and tell a story, like tell the story of the energy that you should have had access to, you should have been able to put into order over the next year. And that information could come in, it could come in handy at some point. I'm not exactly sure when. It's very interesting, but this is experimentation. We want to get some good data points, okay? So if you have any questions, of course, you can email me. Now, remember, you are all getting this pretty late, so if you don't get a chance to start your candle tonight, you can start it tomorrow, or you can start it on Wednesday. You still have a few more days, so don't be too stressed out about it. It's a reason why this was so late. I've been trying to make this video for over a week. And it just didn't really work out. So don't feel bad. We're not going to miss the energy. It's just the spirit had a different time thing than we did, right? So if you have any questions, please send me an email and I'll get back to you. So shalom, everyone. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.